Would you be friends with a Trump supporter?
No.
Would you guys be friends with a Trump supporter?
To be honest, no, not really.
No.
No.
Would you guys ever be friends with a Trump supporter?
I've already actively cut out people who have supported him.
Oh, really?
So I will not. I will not tolerate
Yeah,
it.
sadly, some of my family is, and I tolerate them, but
In general, you were like, no.
Nope, not a chance.
Why or do you think Trump supporters are sick and mentally ill?
I find it very difficult to find yourself in a good place of mind or even ethically, morally, even existence to say what he's doing is acceptable or even permissible, let alone a positive thought to have in your head. It's disgusting, amoral, and absolutely abhorrent.
Hello, puppy. He's like, I smell kitty cats on you. I love how like opposite in size they are. It's so funny. All right, so first of all, have you guys ever heard of Jasmine Crockett? She's from Missouri.
No, have not.
Okay, she's a congresswoman, so it doesn't matter if you know her or not. She's another police officer. She recently had a controversial statement. I'm going to tell you what she said, and you guys react, say if you agree or disagree. And she's getting a lot of flack for this too. Okay? He's like, I can. Yeah, you do. Yeah, he knows Jasmine Crockett.
Oh,
yeah. So she recently said that Trump supporters are sick for supporting what he's doing and mentally ill. So we're just asking people here today at the farmers market, do people agree with that assessment of Trump supporters?
yes.
Yes.
Yes. Okay. He's like, absolutely. Okay, why or do you think Trump supporters are sick and mentally ill?
I find it very difficult to find yourself in a good place of mind or even ethically, morally, even existence to say what he's doing is acceptable or even permissible, let alone a positive thought to have in your head. It's disgusting, amoral, and absolutely abhorrent.
Okay, so you really don't like Trump supporters?
I don't like anything that's happening with our country right now, especially because of the administration in charge and the people that put him in that power.
Absolutely. And would you agree with that? Why do you think they're sick and mentally ill?
Because they don't care about others.
Okay.
They care about themselves. That's how I feel. Like, they care about what's on their agenda and nobody else's.
Okay.
Like, and how that might impact others.
Absolutely. Would you guys ever be friends with a Trump supporter?
I've already actively cut out people who have supported him.
Oh, really?
So I will not. I will not tolerate
Yeah,
it.
sadly, some of my family is, and I tolerate them, but
In general, you were like, no.
Nope, not a chance. No, because you have actually made a decision to hurt yourself to hurt someone else more, which is
Okay.
just doesn't make any sense. Why would you do that?
Do you know who Jasmine Crockett is?
yes.
Yeah.
Yes. What do you guys think of her?
I mean, she seems like she's got a good future.
She's good. She does, yeah.
Yeah.
Recently, she said that Trump supporters were sick and mentally ill. Would you guys agree with her in that assessment of Trump supporters?
Kind of put on the spot with this one, but I think that there's a subset of Trump supporters that definitely are really a little too far gone sometimes. They just like are in a cult, I guess.
Okay.
It definitely comes across that way.
Okay. So, like, just a small section, or would you say in general her comments would be correct?
If I'm being general, I'd say, yeah, I kind of agree.
Okay.
At times, yeah.
Okay. And what are some behaviors of Trump supporters that you would point to and say, yeah, that's kind of sick or mentally ill?
So, I think that they're kind of stuck in this realm of like being constantly fed propaganda that they don't even realize that they're spewing all of this essentially non-facts. They don't understand that what they're being told is lies, and so just like the ability to be blatantly racist.
What are some of the lies that they're being fed and then spewing?
Usually it has to do with crime statistics whenever it comes to immigrants,
Okay.
or a lot of transgender misinformation. They are fed things to make it seem like these issues are massive and they're overwhelmingly affecting them, whenever a lot of times it's the smallest percentage that you could imagine. And they think that 50% of the population is transgender almost, which doesn't make any sense to someone logical, but you know.
Would you ever be friends with a Trump supporter?
Yeah, because I am, unfortunately.
No, it's not unfortunately.
No, I'm friends with Trump.
Oh, you're oh, I thought you were saying you were. Unfortunately, you're friends with a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
What's unfortunate about that?
It's just, we agree on so many things, and then on very critical issues, we
Okay.
disagree on a fundamental level. So,
What's like the top most fundamental issue that you disagree with on Trump supporters?
just rights for like trans people and the queer community in general is pretty important.
You think
to
Trump
me.
supporters are against rights for trans people?
Some, not all, but it's hard to give blanket statements to everybody, but there is a large percentage, unfortunately, that are.
What rights are they not being given?
Just in general, it's more, probably rights is not the right
Okay.
term, but just like support for that specific community,
Okay.
I think can get downplayed in big ways.
Well, I'm a Trump supporter.
Okay.
I voted for him. I think he's doing a great job. If you could explain to me maybe something that I'm missing or that I don't quite understand, because I care about people. I don't hate anybody, and I think majority of the country who voted are getting exactly what they voted for. And so you think that I'm sick and mentally ill?
I think you've made a very poor decision, and if
Why so? I'm sorry, go ahead with what you're saying.
No, you're fine. If you agree with what's happening, especially in LA right now, we're deporting people who legally have the right to be here.
Okay.
I really don't have anything else to say to you. I apologize.
Who are they deporting that has the legal right to be here? Because those people have deportation orders, and then they detain them, and then they go through a process, and if they're found to have deportation orders or they're under, the standards to be deported, then they're deported. So who's supposed to be here legally that they're going after?
The individuals who have birthright citizenship, who have gone through the proper channels to be here legally, and the ICE people who do not have the proper papers or the correct warrants are taking people away from their families, taking kids away, and detaining them. Thank you. I'm good here.
So they're taking. Can I
good, dude.
correct
I
your
don't
claim?
wanna-
They're taking.
Gotcha
I just
thing.
explained
I
to
thought
you that I don't wanna talk
You
to
guys called me sick and mentally ill just now, and I'm trying to ask if you could maybe look into a different
I thought this
perspective.
was going to be a video about Winter Garden, Farmers Market, and the dogs. That's how it was approached.
I never told you I wanted to make a video about your dogs.
Thank you.
I don't even generally like dogs. I went into a video about dogs. I guess I didn't make any friends with them today, but that's sad. Would you guys be friends with a Trump supporter?
To be honest, no, not really.
No.
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 I mean, I have a lot of family members that are Trump supporters, so I don't really I kind of am willing to blur the lines because people are people,
Yeah.
So
yeah.
I don't.
Why would you not be friends with a Trump supporter?
Well, I just don't think that Trump supporters, like, I don't know how to word it, but people that support Trump support like a lot of things that I fundamentally disagree with, and I think it's not right to support someone like that, and I wouldn't be friends.
What's the top thing that you disagree with fundamentally with Trump supporters?
A lot of them don't believe in gay rights and want gay marriage gone, and
Okay.
that's like a part of who I am, and if someone fundamentally disagrees with that, I can't be friends with them.
Okay, that's fair. What about you?
I think fundamentally, at least from Trump supporters that I've known in my personal life, they tend to have a victim complex where they think that everyone's out to get them, and it's really strange because what they believe and what they agree with tends to be mainstream, especially because a lot of them tend to be born in America, Americans, and these people aren't really, no one's out to get them. They've lived in America their entire lives. There's people that are marginalized, queer people, immigrants, minorities that are actually experiencing and being marginalized within this country, and especially everywhere too. And I just think I just don't agree fundamentally with a lot of things that Trump supporters believe in.
Okay. Yeah, what's the top thing that you don't agree with them on?
The top thing, I think this sort of inclination towards traditionalism and conservatism and sticking to past traditional values, things like that are super inherent in I guess conservatism and again traditional America. I don't really think, I think it tends to be the, what's the word? The norm that when, as a political movement, when you're sticking towards conservatism and traditionalism, you tend to be on the wrong side of history usually because you're anti-progress, you're anti-change, and I think that's just fundamentally incorrect and wrong.
She recently said that Trump supporters are sick and mentally ill, and so we're asking people today if they would agree with a congresswoman when she says that.
No, not at all.
No, not at all.
No.
Okay. What do you think of when you think of a Trump supporter?
I mean, it's various I would say Trump supporters, but I just think Trump supporters, they just want what they want, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah, they're not sick and mentally ill.
No, not sick and mentally ill at all. It's just a side of money, and it's a side without money. So, people want to keep their money. That's all.
You think Trump supporters are mainly Trump supporters because they want to keep their money?
No, some people do have, different opinions about different laws and things like that, but no.
Okay, perfect. Would you be friends with like a rampant Trump supporter?
I'm friends with a lot of Trump supporters.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
She recently said that Trump supporters are sick and mentally ill. And so we're asking people today, especially those who support her, if you would agree with her statements.
I mean, you can't classify everybody in one box. It's impossible to do so.
Right.
I think if anything, they're just ill-informed. I wouldn't say ill, but ill-informed. I think media has a great way of portraying what he wants. But if you really kind of read in between the lines and understand what's happening around you, understand that he has such a hard time even relating to the majority of America being born with a silver spoon and just being who he's around. So
Okay.
I wouldn't say they're ill, but
What are some things that you think they're brainwashed or ill? I'm sorry, I said brainwashed. Someone else said brainwashed. What would you say is something that they're ill-informed on?
just about how America and society really works. I mean, you can't just take away rights from, pregnant women or women that actually need some aid, right? Like they're talking about removing those rights from them. You can't do that,
What rights are being taken away from pregnant women?
No, so they were talking about not pregnant women, but women with HIV, right?
Oh, okay.
So some of the rights being taken away or aid being taken away. And I wouldn't necessarily say that that's right? Like just because you don't have access to the means doesn't mean that you are, a burden to society. It just means that society as a whole needs to do their due diligence in helping out. Like we're a community. It's the only things coming out here in Winter Garden and actually being amongst people who are, living in your neighborhood and talking to them and getting to know them, that's important. Supporting your local economy, that's important. Giving back to the people around you, that's important.
So you said you think a majority of Americans can't really relate to him because he was rich. He's born. He's a billionaire. Got a small loan of $1 million from his father.
Exactly.
What do you think about the fact that he won the popular vote, which is really hard for Republicans to do? So there's a lot of people in this country that say, I do relate to him.
Yeah. I'd say, I guess that's you and I'm me, right? I can't really do anything about that. It is surprising. I will say I was very surprised. I didn't think it was going to happen, but here we are today, and so hopefully it just brings awareness. I do appreciate the fact that more people are in tune to politics and what's going on because he is in office, so fine, let's come out and vote, and let's really understand what's happening, and, let's see what happens next time.
They said I'm a conservative?
I guess.
Yeah. Is that okay?
I don't know. I like Trump though.
You like Trump? Okay, do they take pictures of you too?
I don't know. I don't really care. I hang out.
You might want to sneak into their phone sometime and see if they've been taking pictures of you for voting for Trump, right? MAGA. All right. What do you think of the job he's done so far? You happy?
No, I don't really look at it like that. I just like him as a person.
You like him as a person? Okay.
Yeah.
That's why liberals hate him.
From back in the day when he was making them TV shows.
Yeah. All right. Would you agree with that assessment of Trump supporters?
No.
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 Why not?
I like to think that everyone's entitled to their own opinion regardless.
Yeah.
So I feel like a lot of people just kind of misunderstand where people are coming from, and most people have a lot of humanity in them no matter what they believe.
Yeah. Thank you.
I agree.
Yeah. What do you think about people in positions of power, elected positions of power, saying that about their constituents and people who live in the state they're representing?
I think it's disappointing. I think we're all entitled, it's like she said, we're all entitled to our own opinion and we don't have to agree, but I think it's reasonable for you to just agree to disagree. I don't know why that's such a big deal nowadays.
Yeah,
Right.
I don't either. All right, would you guys be friends with Trump supporters?
Yeah.
Be friends with anyone.
Okay, yeah. Perfect. All right, I just have to point out real quick, they are still back there discussing my existence being here in the farmers market, but because I told them that I've already dealt with this, and I gave them the law, and I gave them, instances of what my lawyer has said and how the police department in Lakeland had to be completely retrained on First Amendment issues. They're treading lightly, and so this is exactly what I wanted out of my interaction with the LDDA, the police department, and everything else, is to know my rights, and so I have knowledge on my side, and we can put people in check who keep trying to do this to the First Amendment. So All right, very good, very good. I hope they're having a good discussion. She recently said that Trump supporters were sick / mentally ill, and there's been a lot of backlash from Trump supporters themselves about this. Do you agree with her?
I don't agree with that. I do agree that some of them can be a bit brainwashed in some senses, but I think calling them sick and mentally ill isn't fair.
Okay.
I understand that a lot of Trump supporters are calling other people that don't support Trump the same thing, so I get why you'd want to do that, but I don't agree with that.
Okay, perfect. And you said some of them are brainwashed. What are some things that you see that Trump supporters are brainwashed about?
There's a lot of propaganda spread. I'm trans, so I know a lot of the trans rights stuff. There's a lot of propaganda spread about trans people. That seems like brainwashy. You know, they didn't care about certain things before, like women's sports or the bathroom things, and now they do.
Okay. Do you have any like specific examples of some of the trans rights stuff besides like the sports and the bathrooms that they might be brainwashed about? Because that could just be like something they're latching onto.
Yeah, also like the medical care for kids thing, because most of the time when you're talking about transitioning as a minor, it's just a name and pronouns and like gender affirming clothes. And people think that it's like surgeries and stuff, and that's not what we're seeing.
Would you be friends with a Trump supporter?
No.
No? Why not?
Morally, what he's doing is very wrong. And if you can't see that, and you can't relate to that and what I'm, about, then we're just not going to be friends. I respect you, though.
Yeah. I'm a Trump supporter.
Sure.
I voted for him.
Sure.
And I support what he's doing. And so if you could maybe just give me something, like you just said, if you can't see what's going on and whatever, is there something that I'm not aware of that's going on that I should be upset about that he's doing?
I wouldn't necessarily say upset, but more or less just being aware of like even just the ICE deportations, what's going around. Like, so for me, I understand that boundaries are in place in order to protect people, but there's nothing wrong with allowing people here for a better life. And for me, going after just a quota number in order to get people out of the country when they're coming here in order to survive and do something better for their families is seriously wrong. I mean, that's just the icing on the cake. That's just what's happening now, right? I mean, that's just a 1 in a million. But I don't understand how people don't, can't even relate to that. Just have the humanity to understand that people here are just trying to survive. Not breaking people from their families is just really, really harsh.
Would you agree with her assessment of Trump supporters?
No, I don't think so.
No, okay. Why not?
People aren't mentally sick just for agreeing with someone's point of view or mindset. I mean, everyone has their own perspective on things.
Yeah, absolutely. I've been getting that a lot today. There's been no one that agrees with her harsh words and stuff like that. Would you be friends with a Trump supporter?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did you vote for him?
Yes.
Oh, okay. Why didn't you just say that? Great. Okay. Why did you vote for him?
Out of the two options, Trump was the better one.
Okay. All right. So you didn't like Kamala too much?
What was it?
You didn't like Kamala too much?
No.
Okay. What drove you more towards Trump? Or actually, let me ask you a new question. Are you happy with what he's done so far?
I am.
You are? Okay, perfect. All right. You're like walking on eggshells right now. You don't know what you can say or whatever. I'm also a Trump supporter. I'm ecstatic with the job he's done so far. And I'm very proud to say I'm a Trump supporter and very proud of the job well done. And yeah. All right. Would you be friends with a liberal?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Every time I've asked a Democrat that, they say, no, I want to be friends with a Trump supporter. Maybe we're the more tolerant side, right?
Mm-hmm.
You're from the UK? All right, well, welcome. Do you like America?
Yeah, love it.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Did you come here legally?
Yes, I did.
Okay. How long did it take?
Oh, it took about 5 years to go through the process. We come on an E2 visa and finally got a green card.
Yeah, but you did it.
Yeah,
you did.
Cost a lot of money and a lot of time and work, but we got it.
But you did it. You did it right. Thank you. I appreciate that. And with that being said, you guys know who Jasmine Crockett is. She's from Missouri. She's a congresswoman.
Oh.
Okay. Well, that's beside the point. She has a lot of interesting and controversial takes, and so I'm going to tell you what she said, and you can react however you want.
Sure.
She recently said that people who support Trump supporters, are sick / mentally ill. So we're just asking people in general today, does she have the right assumption about Trump supporters?
Well, free speech is about, the First Amendment, and whatever she thinks, she can say it, but I don't agree with that at all.
Okay.
We're perfectly sane.
Oh, we? Oh, you're one of us. All right, there we go. There we go. We're perfectly sane, right?
Absolutely. And then some.
And then some.
We're not riding in the streets. We're not protesting. We're working, actually making a living.
I'm a Trump supporter.
Okay.
I think we could probably be friends. Yeah. Right? Like, I don't hate gay people.
Yeah.
I think
Why do you support Trump though?
I support Trump mainly for his policies on immigration, and he's not as pro-life as I'd want him to be, but abortion is a really big one for me. So I support presidents who have more of a pro-life position than the other ones. I also that's exactly what I say. Yeah, so I don't even say I'm pro-life. I say I'm anti-abortion. I think children in the womb, people in the womb, at the moment of conception, are people, and I think people don't deserve to be ripped from their mother's womb or the place that they are rightfully supposed to be in. I think it's wrong to stop a living person's heart or take them out of where they're supposed to be, and it's wrong to kill people because that's what abortion does from the moment of conception. So that's what I believe. It's not like I don't hate women. I don't think that I want to control women's bodies.
Do you support Israel?
What?
Do you support Israel?
I don't care one way or the other about that conflict. I think there's so much turmoil there that no one actually knows from the thousands of years that this conflict has been happening what's right and what's wrong. And so I don't actually take a stand. I hope Trump does not get involved, and I didn't support him for that one. Yeah, no, I'm all for not getting involved with Israel for the same reason. I just don't think that people should be harmed or killed or anything like that. And so, yeah. So do you know who Chloe Cole is by chance?
I do not.
So she was 15 when her parents decided and her doctor decided that she was transgender. She went into surgery and they removed both of her breasts at 15 years old. She now is in her 20s, and she greatly wishes she had not done that to her body. And now she has to live every day with a mutilation of her body that she says, and she is traumatized by this experience. And she actually spoke in front of the Capitol in Tennessee supporting the law that would prevent children from being operated on like that. Do you think even just one person undergoing these surgeries and these transitions, it's worth it to say, let's just hold the brakes and wait till you're an adult to do something like that?
When you look at the suicide rates of trans youth, it's a lot more than one person. You know, I understand that happens, but less than 1% of trans people detransition, and most detransitioners do so for safety or medical or financial reasons, right? I don't know. I don't have kids. I don't plan on having kids, but I think parents' rights is really important. And
does a parent have a right to go in and take their child, a minor, and get their breasts removed?
I don't know. That's up to people who are in power, you know?
No, it's not. I don't think any person has the right to do whatever they want to their child, including affirming them in this idea that they're not actually who they are, and then take them to a doctor and take off healthy body parts that they were born with that make total sense for their body to have. You really think that's a parent's right to take their child into any surgery that they want?
Again, I don't think it's happening as much as you guys think it is.
I'm not asking about how often you think it's happening. I'm asking if you truly think that an adult has the right to do that to a child.
All right. Well, I appreciate the time that you guys gave me today, but I'm going to head out. Thank you so much.
Okay. So I will continue on with that. I'm a parent, and I can look at my children and I can say I have no right to take them into a surgery for cosmetic reasons or anything like that would permanently alter their body when they don't medically need it. No child medically needs their breasts or any other body part of them cosmetically removed. And so I hope that person just thinks on this a little bit, because I don't know if anyone's actually ever asked her these questions. And so let's pray that she thinks on this and she comes to the realization that actually, parents don't have the right to take their children into a doctor and remove healthy body parts for no reason. Do you lock your door at night?
Yes, of course. Always.
Why?
Just to be safe. Why not? Just to have a...
So you don't want random people coming into your house?
Oh, of course not.
Okay. Trump supporters don't want random people coming into their country that we don't know.
But the country isn't my house. I mean, my house is just a little
You live
property.
here.
Of course, but I just
Yeah.
have a little property to sleep at night. The rest of none of this is my house. None of this is my land. I'm just here for a period of time. Literally a snapshot in time, a blink of an eye if you look over a time.
Then why don't you keep your door open?
Well, because I want to be able to sleep at night. I want to be able to stay.
Yeah,
But that's
so
just
do
for
people
8
in this
hours of the
country.
day.
They want to make sure that who's coming into their home, because this is our home. America is our home. And we want to protect other citizens to make sure that the people coming over are not going to hurt them, are not going to go into someone's window and take them from their family or hurt them or kidnap them or take them off and sex traffic them back to Mexico or something like that. It's the same thing. This is our home. Trump supporters are very proud of America and they love this country and they want to make sure that people coming in aren't coming to do them harm. And so that's just one layer of locking your door at night.
Understood.
Okay. All right. Thank you for your time. I appreciate it. I think we could be friends.
Sure.
I think we could be friends. I'll be your first Trump supporter friend. Have a good day. Thank you.